Episode 213.
Did you forget?
No, you were coming in on it, so I thought you wanted to say it. I was like,
I know, but
back.
normally we say it all together. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wenny. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time viewing, thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you are a return viewer, I'm glad you came back.
Pardon our vocal snafus here today. It's bright and early in the morning. We're both kind of just waking up.
We don't usually record quite this early.
No. Although I think we have once before.
Yeah.
When I come here, I like to get out of the house.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't mind.
We'll just go back to bed.
I'll just go back to bed.
So just a reminder, we have our knit along, crochet along this month is socks. Any socks, kids or adults.
They have to be
real
socks.
Have to
they
be
can't
real
be slippers.
Socks. They can't be slippers. Yeah, it's not coming.
And we'll draw a prize for that in July. First episode in July. Because this is our June.
It is. What day? It's the 18th. Yeah, all right.
So, and we don't have any other contests, but we are working on a contest, which I know we said we were going to tell you this week what it was, but you were like, I have an idea. She does have an idea, but we have to figure it out.
Gotta figure it out.
So. And
we were looking at our contests. No, our prizes.
Yeah.
Our prize
pool is getting low. We gotta re-up it.
You do have to re-up it. I didn't realize. She has the prize pool, so whenever she pulls for a prize, she knows what we have. I don't.
I know. I was so surprised that big box of yarn was empty. Remember when I found the box down here? I'm like, what? But we gave a lot of that away. All right, so on the dance card.
Which is great. It benefits you guys.
Yeah.
So I go first?
Yes.
On the dance card, I have one thing actively on the needles, which is my Good and Plenty socks. The Mystik Spiral by Josh. I can never remember his name. Rikes. I want to say Ricks. I don't know why. Josh Rikes, the Mystik Spiral. He re-engineered it?
He revamped.
He's doing the short row.
He changed a couple of the techniques he uses in the pattern.
And it's much better. So this is Fiber Nymphs Bounce Base Good and Plenty colorway. And this is the Mystik Spiral sock. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I'm doing it on 1.5 on square needles, and my thumb has been really good.
Oh, good.
So that's all I am actively working on.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, well, good thing I didn't start knitting this.
Sorry. Yeah, that's it.
So I cast on the Lucille sweater. It's a baby sweater.
It's very cute.
In Fiber Stash Twinkle Toes base in the eggplant colorway. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sparkly. And here's the back. You can see the pattern better. Needs to be blocked. And I have finished the body, obviously. And I am working on one of the sleeves. I'm using Magic Loop for that. I did make one pattern modification. Oh, and if you're wondering why I have this extra set of needles on here, when I went to cut the cut the thread out of the stitches that I had on hold because I had them on waste yarn, I cut the wrong side. I had this on the needles, and then I cut the yarn on the other side and pulled it out, and then I was like, oh! So there's a lot of drop stitches over on this side that have to be picked up again. I got all the major ones. Just yarn. There's yarn overs that didn't get picked up. I'll deal with it when I get over there. So I did make a couple of modifications. I slipped the last stitch in every row and then turned the work and worked it the way that it was supposed to make a nice slip stitch edge on it. And when I got down to the body, I added an extra stitch so that I could continue doing that. So like a selvage stitch, because I just like the neat look of that edge. It looks better than just a raw edge, I think. This cardigan has buttonholes on this side, but only on the top. So it'll be a top button just to here, and then the bottom is just loose. And you can see.
Now what size is that knit for? Just
0 to 3. But it might be a little bigger than that because I used a size up needle, so then it might be 3 to 6. But
still looks good.
Yeah, it's either way, it's fine.
Even if it's 3 to 6, and you go into the fall month, you put a long sleeve and that over, it will look really cute.
Yeah, well, it's gonna have long sleeves.
No, I know, but I meant an undershirt.
You know, babies. Yeah. Believe me, my sister-in-law dresses her babies warmly. So, yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. The only problem is I keep having to rip it out. I was telling Sheila, this is not a it looks like diamonds. Let's see if I can get you to see it. But it's not a true diamond. They're like elongated like a leaf. And so, oops, sorry. What happens is you do knit 2, knit 3 together, knit 2. And then in the next row, knit 1, knit 3 together, knit 1. And then in the next row, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over. And then in the next row, you kind of want to start the next diamond, but you don't. You do yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. And if you skip that row, it makes the diamonds a smaller size. So, you know, I'll be working along and I'll forget to do that row and I'll get halfway through the next row and then I'm like, what the heck? So I ripped the bottom out like 3 times to fix what I did. One time I did it for like 3 rows before I noticed, like 3 repeats. And then on the sleeve, I'm working in the round, so I have to kind of fudge the stitches at the end to make them match up. I made them, I didn't quite follow the pattern. The pattern wanted you to start the seam on the side of the sleeve here, and I started it in the middle of the underarm so it would be more hidden.
Which makes more sense.
Yeah, I just felt like it would be more noticeable. So I have to work the stitches on the end. Sometimes I move them forward, sometimes I move them backwards to make it look right. So, and then I have to remember that I have a rest row in between every pattern row, which on the cardigan part was easy to remember because you purl the wrong side. But when you're knitting in a circle, you just want to keep going with the right side pattern. Right. And then you're like, oh no, I have to do a knit row. So that's in fact, the thing that I was about to start knitting when you were talking. I was about to start another pattern row, and it really is a knit row. So it's a good thing that I didn't do that. So that's one thing. I also have on the dance card my sock. It got no love. It's still right here. But when I am on my road trip, it will probably get finished because this is an easy one to bring places. Then I'm assuming that by today or tomorrow this is going to be done. It's not. I only just started that sleeve right before I went to bed last night. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah, no, it's small. It's
not a lot of stitches, so. And I should have plenty of yarn left.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably make little booties to go with it.
If not, even a little hat or something.
Yeah, maybe a hat. There's a hat that comes with the pattern, but I don't really like it.
Or a headband with a little flower on it.
Oh yeah, a headband would be super cute. So anyway, I want to leave that out because I'm working on it. Anyway, this sock, I'll show it to you again. It's the Leyburn sock. I have one done. And that is my Rhinebeck sock. And somebody asked me how I made those top stitches slant up. So I'm just going to show you real quick on this. I just started the next row one in every time, just following. Like when I got to this row, I didn't do the stitch that would normally be here. I just did it here. And then I did that all the way up to the top, if that makes sense. That's how I did it. And that's all I have actively on the dance card. Because I swear to you, Hate a Footy, like, still is affecting my knitting. It's like the curse of Hate a Footy.
It's going to take you a while to...
It's going to take me a while. Well, actually, I'm really excited about my future date. So I'm going to cast that on today. So hopefully that'll get my mojo back.
Well, that'll be good. Rate your dates. So I have a rate your date. I finished my Footy Socks that I was on last week. I think I finished it the same day, as a matter of fact. So this is both of them. I think
you did. I think you finished it right after we recorded because I remember you showing it to me.
I finished. This is gonna look weird, but I finished both. This is what it is. One is definitely shorter than the other. I have ways I think I'm going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again. They both fit. One I can feel a little bit shorter. One is stretched on the foot a little bit longer. But I've worn them already. And they don't creep down.
Yeah. Good.
But I think for me, I need to have a slightly longer cuff. Just even a few more stitches. So it might be that for me, I'll have to do contrasting toes and heels. Or at least toes.
Yeah.
Just because one skein of the fixation,
that's barely enough.
It's barely enough. I mean, and if I was to make it for anyone else, like my son, who is interested in a pair, it would definitely not be enough.
No, you'd have to give them the skein.
Yeah. So you can see from here.
It's not that much bigger. It's
No.
a teeny bit bigger.
It's a teeny bit difference. And it's not the cuff. The cuff is the same. It's the heel. Maybe this is probably better. It's like 2 rows shorter, which is fine. It's not enough to really make much of a difference. It doesn't fall down in my shoe,
works.
Which is what I was concerned for.
Right.
And I have a project half done. So my sock that I showed you on my Mystik Spirals is my second sock. This is my first one. And so the pattern, he tweaked it, and it's a lot better. In the pattern, he says use whatever heel you want.
Mm-hmm.
I chose to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I do like that heel. And I was reading the Fish Lips Kiss heel group, I think, and there's some tips, or maybe it wasn't the group, but her group, Sock Therapy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they have some nice tips, and I do a lot of the contrasting toe and heel combinations, and I've already figured out how to do that portion of it, like how to cast on. But a good tip on doing self-striping, I've never done the afterthought heel, and that does not appeal to me at all. I'm not going to put a scrap piece of yarn in and then pick up stitches afterwards. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I do like the thought of keeping the stripe sequence. And sometimes I work it so that it's the same. The idea then, I'm surprised it didn't come to me earlier, was somebody suggested that to keep the stripe sequence on your self-striping sock, like I did here, was to start from your other end of your ball if you can. I have mine in a cake, so I was able to start and do the heel with that. Couple more ends to weave in, but I'm already used to that when I do my contrasting heel anyways.
Right.
But I really liked it. Here I stopped it midway in the pink, but because my end had pink and I didn't want to waste the yarn and start at the black, I just continued with the pink. So the heel doesn't look all that fancy, but I kept the stripe sequence so that when you see it on the front, it looks like an afterthought type of heel.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. I'm going to do that with this one, and I'm going to start. This one will look differently because I'll start in the white. I'm not going to try and match my heels.
Right.
However, I did try and match my stripes in the sense of starting.
Yeah.
And I think I'm 1 row or a half a row off.
Oh, well, that's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. And then I did 1, 2, 3, about 4 stripes of 2x2 ribbon. And they're almost the same. The cuff is almost the same size as the foot. But I wanted to stop there so that I would start in the pink. So I'm just 2 stripes or so below. I really like this. I like the sock. I love the colors. And I have woman at work who's really into coordinating your outfits, even if they're scrubs, like, you know, what colors go together to the point where you have your socks and stuff.
Yeah.
She usually gives me a pass because I wear my hand knit socks. She goes, no matter what color hand knit socks, I get a pass because they're hand knit.
Yeah.
Well, I have scrubs that will match this to a T.
Oh, there you go.
So someday when I'm going to work with her, I'm going to wear all of this and say, look, I was thinking of you and matching it all
I
together.
matched my whole outfit.
I probably have enough sock yarn to do that for every part of my scrubs.
Yeah, you should do that. That should be your goal.
Well, I do. I mean, when I do wear my scrubs, I look at my socks and say, this will go pretty good. But I have Hello Kitty scrubs that will match this, pink and black. But that's so I have a project half done and footies. I am going to continue doing footies. The Roller City footies seem to be very popular right now. I'm going to take a look at that. And that is basically just doing a cuff where you don't do ribbing. You just take a little roll cuff down.
Cool.
I think Denise, Mad About Matisse, said she was going to try and do a pair of those.
Oh, cool.
I'm watching you.
She won't. She's got enough going on right now.
She's only done, I know. She's only done one pair of socks so far, right?
Yeah, but she did them. I'm proud of her.
Oh, absolutely. So that's all I have on Rate Your Date.
Okay. Whirlwind Romance, I'm not showing it. I'm still doing the Abby Batt. Haven't gotten that enough progress to show you anything different. But that's still on the needles. I am going to be spinning for Team Akerworks during Tour de Fleece, which starts in July. I can't remember when. July
5th, I want to say, or somewhere around there. It might be July 2nd. It's the first week.
I'm excited to spin for Tour de Fleece this
now, do
year.
you enter it anywhere, or do you just...
I
just
told
doing it in name only?
I told Akerworks that I was on their team, so I'm on their team.
Okay.
I don't know if you get prizes or anything. I've never really... Like, I know if you go to the main Tour de Fleece group, you can enter your photograph of your daily...
progress
stuff.
type of deal.
Yes, and win prizes. I'm just not organized enough to take pictures every day and remember to post them in the right place. So Tour de Fleece for me is just more like me trying to spin every day. So there's going to be like very little knitting going on during Tour de Fleece because my goal is to finish the sweater's worth of fiber that I have that I started spinning last fall. So I want to get that done. Get that off the bobbins. That's my goal.
That's not the one that you're going to do your Rhinebeck sweater with.
No, the Rhinebeck sweater I'm doing diabolical.
Okay.
And after Tour de Fleece is over, I'm going to cast on that Rhinebeck sweater. But I want to get that other sweater's worth off the needles. I just want it off the needles, off the wheel, so that it can be done. Because seriously, I only need to do like 2 more skeins and I'll have enough for a sweater. So I really just want to get it done. Get it spun and done. That's a fast spin because I'm spinning for worsted weight.
Right.
So that's a good goal. That's my goal. And if I finish that early, then I'll spin some of my like single bumps just to get them gone. So that's it for Whirlwind Romance.
Future dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry. I'm in the middle of a row. All right, so I actually pulled out my, it's not a obsession, it's a collection, or it's a collection, not an obsession. It's a collection, not an obsession yarn from Blue Moon Fiber Art. It's medium weight. I'm going to do the Zig Zagula sock.
Oh, cool.
That's going to be my next sock to cast on.
Cool. I like it.
I know, it'll be fun. And who knows, with the way you're doing socks, maybe
it'll be a knit along.
Maybe it will be a knit along. So yeah, I'm going to do this next. And I have to wind it up because I'm hoping I don't know how much knitting I'm going to actually get done because I am working this weekend. I am working until next Thursday. Through next Thursday.
Cool.
I have a 3-day weekend off next week. Because,
that's nice.
Well, somebody asked to switch days.
Yeah.
So normally I would get my Tuesday off for working the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working this Tuesday, but I'll take her Friday.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll do something with my boys on Friday because my boys' last day is today.
Yeah, my kids get out on Monday.
Which sounds weird.
Yeah, but I think we had more snow days than you did.
Probably.
Because we were in that weird Boston belt where we were getting freakishly more snow than everybody else.
Well, not only that, but Wilmington is really, they try not to.
Melrose tries not to, too. Usually.
I think there was one day you guys got called out.
There was one day that was like, it was gonna snow, so they called out, or it
we
started
did a delay
to snow.
or something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but we were in this, I mean, usually Wilmington, like 95, the other side of 95 out gets more snow, and the greater Boston area and its bedroom communities get less snow, but because of the freak weather, Boston and the bedroom communities got nailed this year. Like, it was weird.
Everybody got nailed this year.
Yeah, but it was unusual for us to get more snow than other people. It was weird. Every week they'd be like, yeah, the primary 15 to 20 inches is going to be in Boston. It's like, really?
Mm.
Usually it's like 15 to 20 inches are going to be west of 95. You're going to get 3 to 6. That's not what happened.
No, when they start counting feet, though, is when I'm going to be scared. Oh, my God.
That was a crazy winter.
It was.
I hope we don't have that one again.
I hope not either. Now, you have future dates, because you said you have a future
I
date.
do. I showed this last week. This is my Death to Ovarian Cancer colorway in CJ Kopech polyester silk that I spun. And I am going to cast on TGV. High
TGV,
speed.
I think.
TGV. It's TGV.
Oh,
I always thought it was TV because like television, but it's
okay.
TGV. I don't know what
it means. High speed train in
somewhere.
I can't remember.
So I'm gonna cast this on. I wanted to get onto the sleeves of the sweater because I was having so much trouble having to keep ripping it out. I didn't want to take the chance that this would like derail me from the sweater because the baby is going to come any day now, like basically.
Really? When's it due?
It's due in the last week of July, but it's a second baby, so it could come anytime. In fact, my sister-in-law was in labor and delivery last week. So it's a big baby.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
German, Train Tricot Grande VTC.
Oh, TGV. So I'm going to do TGV in this. I bought the pattern. I just have to wind the yarn.
Here, in case people don't know what TGV looks like.
Oh, yeah, show what it looks like. It's really pretty.
It's really pretty.
It'll show the striping in the yarn really well. It's like a crescent shawl with ribbed edging. Like, so it looks ruffly.
I think you have to increase, though.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I'm not really sure how they do it. But I looked at a lot of stuff, and Sheila had suggested looking at that one, and I think that looks like a fun... It's garter, so I don't have to think too much.
And I think as you get to the edge, if you have enough, you just keep knitting it. You know what I mean? Because there's one here that has a longer rib section than others.
It's easy to adjust to the extra.
It's not like a crescent, and then you have to knit this way, and then you run out, you know.
Because I have 732 yards of this, so I want to use up as much as I can.
Or you can make the crescent portion of it bigger than the ribbing,
I could do that too. So I'm gonna do that. I was gonna cast it on this morning before Sheila came over, but I slept instead. So I
have to do what's important.
So I will probably cast that on later. But that's my future date. And I'll probably make booties or a hat that goes with this when I get done with it. Or a headband. A headband might be the easiest thing to do.
Well, I was just thinking of a headband because I don't know after you're done with your booties how much you're actually going to have. And where summer is coming, she may not want the hat so much as like a little headband with a little flower to show that it's a girl. And, you know, because
I might do that. That's kind of a cute idea.
I just thought
I might do that. I do have that bee headband pattern. I could modify it to have a flower instead of a bee.
Didn't you do a couple of headbands for your niece?
No.
No.
No, I was going to, but I never did.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking. Well, now you can do it for
but
this.
My sister-in-law has a ton of headbands.
She doesn't have any hair, right?
She does now, but she didn't for a long time. So she has a ton of headbands. So what did you? Oh, you did. Did you tell your future date? What was your future date? I wasn't paying attention. I forgot.
The zigzagular.
Zigzagular.
Oh, and in case somebody wants to see that one I have easy because it's on my queue. It's really neat. It goes along with how I've been feeling with my socks, where you have just a portion of business.
Who's it by?
It is by Susie White, where you have a portion of business and the rest is plain.
Yeah.
A lot of people have done it, and one of the socks that she recommends is Blue Moon. And you, not me. And I believe one of the projects somebody's doing it toe up, so I think I might try toe up. So baubles and bling is next, and I have a small bauble and bling, and you're gonna laugh at me, I know you. So I always go for the cheap stuff in the sense of, for stitch markers, I get, things that you would use for beading, because they do the same thing. I don't need fancy. My stitch marker is there for a reason. It's there to remind me. So I was working on the green socks, and something struck me as, shit, they're too short.
Yeah.
Pardon me, that was a swear. We try not to. So what I was thinking is, I have those plastic little, as Steve from Dramatic Nicks calls it, and a lot of people do doohickeys, but they're the
locker stitch markers.
Yeah, so
they
I'm
look like a little lock.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think. Oh, I'm using one here.
Yeah, it's a locker stitch.
So, but these are expensive. They can be.
And you can buy them very cheaply bulk online, but they bust.
Right.
Because my friend Diane bought a big thing of them, like 200 of them, and she's like, every time you use them, they break. They're like one use only.
So I ended up looking for coilless safety pins, or there's pear-shaped safety pins. And the reason I thought of that is Simply Sock Company is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and any purchase that you make until they run out, they're giving you a set of 10 pear-shaped safety pins, which are coilless. Yeah. So I'm like, I can find those.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to Joann's, and I found, oh boy. I don't want to take them out until I have a place to put them. They're just coilless.
Take one. Oh, no. Sorry. They just don't have a
They're
circle.
just safety pins that have no coil in them.
They don't have the circle.
And I bought the small ones, and I bought large ones. And what I'm going to do, and this sounds OCD-ish of me is probably a good way of saying it. My zigzagular, I'll probably do it every 10 rows to put one in. Because I am really a stickler in making sure that my socks are the same length. You go by sight.
Yeah, I eyeball it.
I
am not a stickler for
I've never been good with that, hence the short footies. It's only 2 rows. Short. I know, but to me, that's like, again, you have your thing, I have mine.
Your thing.
So this, I figure, I'll do the first sock. Now, of course, none of this would be a problem if I did 2 socks at a time, but that's not going to happen.
No,
I'll never get my socks done. So I'll do this every 10 rows, and when I do my second sock, I'll take that off and put it on my, I have a method to my madness. Now I just need something to put these in. You have your little thing, I have mine. But that's my only baubles and bling. And Joann's, I think it was $1.99. $1.99 for 18 large ones and 40 small ones.
So that's pretty good.
So you can't really beat that.
Those
and they're
won't
metal.
Get broken.
No, if anything, they might get rusted, but who's going to be having their yarn in water or, you know what I mean?
It's not going to be exposed.
And they look like, they don't look like they're cheap ones either. You know how you find a safety pin, like those little gold ones? They look cheap because they come from the dry cleaners or something. These don't look cheap. I mean, they look pretty sturdy. They look
pretty sturdy.
So... I'll let you know how it works.
What was I just going to say?
One thing?
I use, for my safety pins, I use a, what do you call it?
Paper clip? Because I've done that. I've used paper clips.
I use mint tin.
Oh, that. Yeah, I have tins.
I use a mint tin to put mine in. I think either you or our friend Lara gave us a slide tin that was, I have a ton of stuff like that. This is my safety pin and large stitch marker stash, and there's like a needle in there too.
Yeah, I noticed. The only reason I don't want to use safety pins for what I'm planning on doing is because it will catch on the yarn.
Oh yeah, no, it's safety pin, and I don't use these safety pins for
stitch
knitting.
markers. Yeah.
No, I just use them when I need a safety pin. Primarily, when I need a safety pin is when my son's adjustable waistband gets sucked inside his pants. I put a giant safety pin in the end and I weave it through. Yeah, that's primarily when I use them, but those are just my safety pins. So if somebody needs something pinned up, I got mine at Joann too, and they're like multiple sizes.
I was just going to say, they have a ton of different sizes. So I have 3 safety pins about this big, and we use them for our towel rack.
Mm-hmm.
We put the towel through and then we put the safety pin through, because having kids, how many times do you find your towels, or adults really, on the floor?
Yeah.
So we pin them so that they don't fall on the floor. It works well for us. And then, I just unpin it, change the towel out, put a new towel in.
Yeah.
And they don't fall on the floor. My husband can't stand when that happens. So. But if you ever need, I don't know, is Joann's more than just New England? It is, right?
I think so.
Go to Joann's if you're ever looking for all sorts. They have some in the knitting area, but they really have them in the button area. Yeah. At least the one I went to. Which is funny. Side note, the one I went to had no patent croy sock yarn.
That's weird.
I know. So I was going to swing by yours because I want a couple more skates.
Although the last time I got patent croy, I got it from AC Moore.
Really?
Because they had so much more selection at AC Moore than they did at
See, in the one AC Moore here, right?
I went to the Leyburn one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was that one. Yeah.
Because the last time I went, they had nothing. The big box stores are just dwindling down with name brand. It seems like everybody's going for their own brand.
Yeah, I think that they don't. I think it's a loss leader for them. So they'd rather make the profit off of their own
I'm
brand.
sure, but makes me not want to shop there.
Well, I shop there for other reasons, but yeah, I hear you.
So it kind of aggravates me. Do you have any baubles and bling?
I do have one baubles and bling. I just have to adjust.
You're knitting?
So I've been doing the coloring thing. And I had wanted to get this book called The Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford, and it was out of print. This is the other book she did, The Secret Garden, which was also out of print because it went crazy viral on the internet and everybody ordered them. Well, I got an email notification from Amazon that they have it again, and I'm going to get it on Monday, Enchanted Forest. And then when I went to Michael's, as a matter of fact, yesterday, they had this sitting on the book rack, so I picked that up as well. This is kind of a fun coloring book. I'm going to bring it on my road trip. Not only can you color the pages, but she has hidden these symbols, certain amounts of these symbols, throughout the book, and so you can hunt for them as you color. And then she also has places where she encourages you, I'm trying to find one, to add details. So like here she says add plants to the pots on this side. So you take a fine black pen and you draw your details in, and then you can color that. Here's another one. You draw stuff in these two. So I thought that would be fun too for either me or my daughter. So I'm looking forward to that. But the really beautiful book is Enchanted Forest. I'm so excited to get that. So that's my one bauble and bling. Okay, crushes and
heartbreaks. School's out. I don't know if that's a crush or a heartbreak for me. Could be a combination of both. This, I think, is really Well, last summer I didn't get to spend too much time with my kids. This summer, though, at least last summer I spent like a week or two. This summer, though, I'm not. We are planning a vacation in August. And I'm hoping to do a lot more day trips on my day offs with the kids when I have to work a weekend. They're getting older, though. My concern is making sure that they're not stuck in the house. Like, Zachary's doing summer school again. He's doing it for 6 weeks. He's got a couple... Oh, that reminds me. I have to go to the library. He's got a couple of books that he's got to read. One is Wonder, which Max read. Mm-hmm. Said it was a really good book. And one is called El Defo.
That's weird. It
is. It's like a comic book style about a girl who loses her hearing from an illness. And she now has cochlear implants.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that would be good. He actually wants to read it. And we'll read with him, obviously. This is an upper grade book for him. So I'm looking forward to that for him. He's excited about reading. We've had discussions about this. My oldest son is a reader on his terms, I guess you could say. Like, obviously, if it's a good book, he won't put it down.
Right. He likes to read.
He likes to read. And Zachary does, too. It just takes him longer to do it. So I'm excited for them. I'm trying to think what else is going on. We were supposed to be going to Canopy Lake, but that's not happening just yet. We normally, for the last 3 or 4 years, we've gone to Canopy Lake, if not on the last day of school, like right nearby.
Right.
This year, the 3 families are all kind of busy.
Yeah.
So I think we're planning a trip in July.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm trying to think. Sure, I should just keep a notebook handy and think, oh yeah, she mentioned that. I never can remember what's going on. I think we went to the beach on Sunday. Went to Hampton Beach in New Hampshire.
I haven't been to Hampton Beach since I was a teenager.
We try and go every year. Once. We just try and go once a year. We go up, spend some time, and then we tour the arcade. It hasn't... Well, physically it's changed. They made more bathhouses or bathrooms, which is great. But in reality, everything else is pretty much the same. If you've ever gone to Hampton Beach, you'll all know what I'm saying. It's just fun to people watch. It's a good beach. It's a long beach. It's got not white sandy beaches, but it's got sandy beaches, and then it goes down a slope, and then there's water. When the tide is out, it's out for distance. It's a really good beach. They were working on the sandcastles because this weekend tends to be their sandcastle weekend competition, or whatever you want to call it. One sandcastle had a theme of ducks or rubber duckies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They were working on that one because it was like the big one.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We had a good time. And we went out to eat afterwards. We didn't go anywhere there. We went closer to home. Went to 99's, actually, which was good. Trying to think what else. My son had his 8th grade dance on Tuesday, which I thought was weird that they had it on a weekday. But that's so nobody takes the day off.
Right.
They have stipulations on this 8th grade dance because I have boys, but all the girls, no matter what dance they want to go to, they want to make it a big thing. And they're like, no, it's not a big thing.
Right.
So some of the girls were dressed up in the sense of...
Like really fancy.
No, you can't go fancy. They won't allow you to. Like evening dresses, maybe not evening dresses, but maybe like a wedding. If you were to go to a wedding where they had just right above the knee, that they had letters out saying that anyone that was absent that day would not be allowed to go to the dance.
Right.
No limos allowed. And I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't even thought that. It's not a dance that need a date. A lot of people go with just friends.
Right.
So I took a picture of Max, and he was in cargo shorts with a polo button-down, golf shirt. And I was on Facebook looking at some of my other friends' kids, and they had the same.
Yeah.
So he was, for boys, he was well within the dress code.
Yeah, girls wanted
the girls
to
didn't match. Really. They were definitely more dressed up than the boys. It was cute. And I was looking at my son saying, oh my gosh, I now have a high schooler.
Yep.
He is in high school. Well, not in, but as of today, he will be a high schooler officially because he goes to high school next year. So that's a crush and a heartbreak, too.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I can never remember.
My big crush is that I have a new roof on my garage and on my house.
No, I didn't even notice
how crappy it looks. My husband thinks the color gray that I chose looks cheap. It is the color of shingles on every house. I would say on a majority of the houses in America, but apparently that's not good enough for us.
I mentioned that to my husband, and he looked at me like, huh?
Who looks at the roof of your house? It looks like a roof.
And then the color that your husband liked, I'm like, oh no.
No. My husband wanted red, because that's common. So, and the reason I didn't get black, which is the other popular color, is that my parents used to own a construction business, and black absorbs heat, and the lighter colors reflect heat. So you can actually have a little bit less heat upstairs if you get stuff that reflects. So that's why I picked it. My mom helped me pick it out. I had a selection of about 10 colors I could have chosen from. It is the exact same color as it was on our roof before we had it replaced. It's just brand new. The good news about it, the crushed part, is that it has the rubberized, 6 feet of rubberized ice barrier underneath the shingles, so that if we do get ice dams this year, please don't let that happen. It has a non-permeable layer. They'd have to be pretty far. They'd have to make it to 6 feet up on my roof in order for water to get through the shingles and then through the barrier into my roof. That's now standard in Massachusetts. I don't know if it's standard everywhere, that rubberized ice barrier, because of this problem. And in the olden days when my thing was done, you just put like a tar paper type thing down and then the shingles. So as long as you didn't get water backing up under the shingles, you're fine, but ice dams force water to pool up underneath the shingles and then it gets through your roof. So that won't happen allegedly now. And they did it on the garage too, so I mean, not that we really worried. They had to replace a pretty big section on my garage roof. Both sides. They're like, yeah, it's pretty rotted up there. I was like, yeah, I thought it might be. But fortunately, they did not go outside of the amount that they had estimated, so we didn't have to pay any extra for the roof. It looks great. I'm very happy with it. My heartbreak is we have no money now because that was all of our money to get the new roof. It had to be done, but we don't have a lot of discretionary money left over because of that. My kids are getting out of school soon. We're going to take them to Washington, D.C. and Colonial Williamsburg. That's our big family vacation this summer. We'll also spend probably a week in Maine with my friend Lois, like we've done for the last couple years. So those are our two big plans. My husband and I need to be around because we're going to take care of my niece when my sister-in-law goes into labor with her second baby. So, and my other crush is that I have been taking care of my niece. I've been babysitting her so that my sister-in-law can get her iron infusions. And we've had a lot of fun. I took her to Jack's school yesterday to pick him up, and she was just the cutest thing ever. She calls me Auntie Ween.
Auntie Ween.
Auntie Ween. Ween. She can't say Wendy. Auntie Ween. So cute. She can say Jack. She was talking about him. Jack, school, Jack, the whole drive to the school. And then when we picked him up, I'm like, who's that? And she was just like, she wouldn't say it to him. And then when my brother-in-law was driving her home, because he came and picked her up, he was like, the whole way home, she was like, more Jack. She wanted to play with him. He played with her the whole time. Like, they made pictures, and with stickers
Okay.
and crayons, and he showed her little things, folding paper, and she just
Your niece
adores
is getting
him.
so spoiled.
I know. She's got a rude awakening coming when there's number 2.
Your sister-in-law or your niece? Or both?
I think both. I think they are going to be... It's so funny because my sister-in-law, she was like so worried. She said, I don't know, can you handle like going somewhere with a baby and a kid? And I was like, dude, I had 2 babies, basically. I mean, I had a 3-year-old and an infant I had to lug around. And I said, last week I lugged around 5 kids. I just have kids all the time. And I'm like, just throw one more on the pile. Somebody, my niece's age is easy because you can just pick her up. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. It's when she'll have, like right now, it'll be easy because the baby will be in the carrier.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be when the baby is too big for the carrier and starts walking and she's got the older one.
And then they like run away. I'm like, one like toddler, easy. And I'm like, yeah, it's really, I think she, it's her first baby. I think it's hard for her to understand that I do have 12 years of experience with children that I miraculously managed to raise up.
I mean, she was concerned of you having Jack and your niece?
Yeah. Like,
I thought she was concerned about her having her baby.
She was concerned that it was going to be like too much. A part of it is too that they are always feeling that they're taking advantage of me. And they also think that their baby's like a bomb that's going to explode. So they're like, she's going to freak out as soon as you drive away. I'm like, I don't know. I have never had my niece freak out with me. And that's because kids are better with people that are not their parents. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
When their parents aren't around. Because
they know they can break down with their parents.
Yes, but they don't know you well enough to do it. So, and she, like, the whole way, she's just talking to me in the car. We were singing to the radio. I'm like... And she texts me, is she freaking out? I'm like, no, she's fine. And then, and this kind of bothered me. She asked her when she got home, did you cry when you were away from Mama?
Oh.
And the baby, of course, said, mm-hmm. And she said, did you get in trouble? Mm-hmm. Did Auntie give you a timeout? Mm-hmm. Did
None
Auntie spank you? Mm-hmm. She's like, did any of this happen? I was like, no. I'm like, she had the best time ever. She didn't want to go home.
Can I just ask a question? Why would she get a timeout for crying?
I don't know. I would never time out a child who's not 2 yet either. And I wouldn't spank somebody's kid who's not my own.
But what?
Maybe she gets that at home. I don't know.
I know, but I just don't understand. Like, if she was sad, legitimately sad, why would someone get a timeout?
No, but see, they may have problems with her where she needs that at home.
Right.
But when she was with me, in fact, the first day I had her at the doctor's office with my son, where she played with, there's like a toy table there. And somebody actually told me as we were leaving how well-behaved my daughter was. And I'm like, it's my niece. But yeah, because she played, she was perfectly quiet. She never fussed. And then when I had her at the school yesterday to pick my son up, somebody commented to me how good she was because she just stood there and she held my hand. She didn't try to run around with the other kids or, And I was like, yeah, she's pretty well behaved for me because I'm her aunt.
Is she not disbehaved for your sister-in-law?
Maybe she does. I don't know. I'm not there. Whenever I'm with her, she's very well behaved, but she might be different when it's just her parents and her. She's quieter with people she doesn't know. I mean, she knows me pretty well because I've been taking care of her since she was a baby.
Yeah.
So she talks to us, but she gets real quiet. Although, when we were at the doctor, she was like, who that She says, dat is who's that? Dat, that's a lady. Dat, another lady. Dat, another lady. She like asked whoever person was. It was cute. But I love taking care of her, and I keep telling my sister-in-law, I'm her aunt. She's my family. I will do anything. Like, if you were calling me to say, can you come over for 3 hours so I can go to Starbucks? Like, maybe I would feel taken advantage of. But when you're asking me to take care of her because you have a medical appointment.
Right.
Or because you're going into labor. Or because you and your husband want to have a night out once in a while. I'm more than happy to do it. I love kids. I especially love kids that go home after a while, you know? Like, I love that. I took her and I got her little donut holes. Auntie spoiled.
She said that?
No, I said
Oh,
it.
yeah. That's what I mean. Your niece is spoiled.
Auntie bought her this.
You're letting her do a whole bunch of
this
stuff.
This is a coloring pad. Auntie bought her crayons and 3 big things of stickers because she loves crayons.
That she keeps at Auntie's.
That she keeps at Auntie's. She has a whole toy basket at Auntie's house.
Soon enough.
My other heartbreak is that my brand new pool that I ordered on Amazon is all put together, and my husband went to turn the motor on, and the motor doesn't work.
Oh, no.
And I'm not quite sure what to do about that. Normally, I would just send the defective item back to Amazon and they would replace it, but the pool is filled with a pool full of water, so I can't do that. I think I'm gonna have to call the manufacturer of the pool and see if they'll send me a replacement. We might still have the old pump from our old pool. Jim probably didn't throw that away. You know what he's like. He claimed he had thrown it in the dumpster last year, and I was like, the pool was in use when we had the dumpster. He was like, oh yeah. I'm like, odds are good it's in the garage somewhere. So I have to deal with that too. It's just one of those things. But at least the roof is done. Still no action on my interior damage.
I got an update on that for me. So we had sent our $500 deposit because we have the guy and everything. And we hadn't heard from them, and then he said, oh, can you send the signed contract? So we did that. Still hadn't heard from him. We got a voicemail the other day that it's something with the insurance company that they have the guy who comes out, then they bring it to a different department with the same company. Kind of like, not approve so much, but to now schedule it.
Right.
So they did say that they're running behind, so it's going to be 3 to 5 weeks. Which we expected.
Yeah.
Because we kind of lollygagged a little.
Yeah.
So that put us behind everybody else. If we had been like this, we probably wouldn't be getting work done. Which is fine because we're going on vacation. Cam needs to take time. If it goes into September, I can take a week maybe in September and watch it.
See, at this point, I'm hoping ours is in the fall because then the kids won't be home during the day because it would be kind of a pain in the butt to have it going on in the summer because it's my entire first floor. It's not like it's just one area in my house. It's like 6 rooms in my house, including the bathroom. It would just be much better if the kids weren't around.
No, I agree. Same with us. For us, though, it's more of we both work, so we now need to try and find the time.
Yeah, so that you can
I'm taking a week off in August. If they want to do it in September, maybe I can try and get another week off.
Yeah.
So that I can be here, or Cam can be here, or whatever. So.
Yeah, mine is in the situation where the insurance company told my contractor to take his estimate to the adjuster, the inspector, have it reviewed by the inspector. If the inspector agrees with how he's assessed the additional costs, then the inspector writes a report and sends it to the adjuster, and the adjuster is supposed to approve it, and then we'll get another check. And then so I haven't heard from I have to get in touch with my contractor. I haven't heard from him about how that went. I had given him the information. And he's done a lot of insurance-related work before, so it's not like, he knows the deal, but he's busy. He has a lot of jobs, and I'm sure his priority is not to try to, be on the phone with my insurance company. And yet, I can't do it because I'm not a contractor, so I can't explain why he wants it. I just feel like it's never going to get done at this point.
Yeah, well, it's just going to take a while. But I'm sure they're running into that with every...
They are backed up. I talked with the adjuster's assistant, but when this got started, and she's like, don't be alarmed if it takes a few weeks because everybody had this damage. Everybody's trying to get the work done. And she said it's difficult because there are people out there who are taking advantage of people by charging way more than they normally would because they know that you have to get the work done and that the insurance company is paying for it. And, I mean, we're at the point where we were like, we told our contractor, look, we'd like the insurance company to cover it, but just get started on it. Like, we don't even care anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll pay the extra. It's only like $900 extra. I don't want to pay $900 extra, but if that's what I have to do to get my house back to normal, then I will just pay it because I can't take it anymore.
Right.
So, I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, that's my crushes and heartbreak.
Gossip and innuendo?
There's really no gossip and innuendo. The only gossip and innuendo is that in August there is the Fiber Revival, and Abby Frankenmont is teaching there, but you don't have to go there to be in a class with her. You could go there for the marketplace or to hang out and spin all day with people from the Spinning Guild, or to watch the old-fashioned baseball team, or get beer from the beer truck. It's a pretty fun event. But up until that time, there's not really anything else going on locally.
Okay. Go ahead.
The other thing I was going to say is we're not going to record next week.
I was just going to ask, when are you leaving?
I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Oh, all right.
And I won't be back until Sunday or Monday. So
no recording next week.
No, we're going to skip it. I was like toying with the idea, but I don't want to bring my stuff with me on a car trip. We have limited space. And Sheila could record by herself if she wanted to.
We'll see.
I don't want to put the pressure on you to have to do it.
Yeah, I have next Friday off. We'll see. Maybe one of my kids will join me, but I wouldn't even know how to do it now. I could probably record, but I wouldn't be able to put it up, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a whole thing now.
I don't know. It's just easier not to. I can do flash recordings on Instagram. Do those, 45-second
Yeah,
one?
that's funny.
This is what I'm making. This is what I'm planning on doing. So hopefully by the time you see us next time, we'll have finished projects.
I hope so. I'm trying to figure this out.
You want to put it down for a second and say goodbye?
Yeah.
Have a good week. Thank you for watching us, as always. We really, really do appreciate it.
Knit with
Knit with heart.
Bye.